This is episode 6 of Founder 64, and this episode's founder is a dad, a former cabinet maker, a former lots of things, actually, but he currently owns one of the most iconic businesses on the Sunshine Coast, Solbar, along with just a couple of other smaller ones, probably not smaller, they're massive, Diablo Co, and the Rooftop Bar. It is, and I feel like I'm going to butcher his last name, it's Dimi Limnatitis?
Dimitris Limnatitis.
You probably have the best alcoholic ginger beer in Queensland. Or you have the first alcoholic ginger beer in Queensland.
We're the first alcoholic ginger beer in Queensland, absolutely. We're the third ginger beer in Australia.
Yeah.
But yes.
How did you... when I first came to Sunshine Coast 5 years ago, the Diablo alcoholic ginger beer is probably what sent me on, I wouldn't say an alcohol addiction, but it is so addictive that I'm now obsessed with ginger beer, and I didn't realize I had to thank you or blame you for that. But how did you start it? Was it behind a bar?
Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Diablo started on Ocean Street in one of our venues here. So when when the craft beers come out, and we had so many craft beers, one after the other, and sort of. Our customers just wanted something sessionable drink. There was only 2 ginger beers out at the time, and then I thought I want to do something unique for our customers. So I really started doing it behind our bar, not thinking this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, but where'd you get the ginger from? Because you don't have... Unless you're going to the supermarket and buying ginger, do you just store ginger back there?
No, right? No. I had to source ginger.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you did. It was premeditated. It wasn't like one night you're like.
No. It wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. It took me a week to just realize. I sort of did a few different batches and everything else, and then once I said, you know what? But what the good thing was, we started. I do a little 90-liter keg and give it to our customers. I get the feedback, and I built it on the customers' feedback. So it wasn't called Diablo to start with. I started calling it Diablo the minute I introduced chili. So we infuse our ginger and chili into our spirits. We're the only distillery that makes ginger beer. Everybody else is a brewery.
Right. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Wait, when you say you made it off customer feedback, does that mean that they were tasting some of the first batches being like, oh, Dimi, you need to change this and that?
Absolutely.
Were they almost refining the recipe?
Bit of this, a bit of that, too sweet, not sweet enough.
Yeah, more alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I heard that before as well. So, but also, and then just realize the percentage of it where it had to be, because it's not like the old days. People are not going out to get drunk. They just want it. Yeah, it's a refreshing. Yeah.
Were you surprised at how popular your alcoholic ginger beer has become?
To start with, I wasn't thinking much of it. I just kept making it and just building up until someone, hey, can I have it for my venue? And I was like, okay, why not? Let's do that. And then after that, we had to go get all our license and everything else to comply with the law, and we did. And then once we did that, I started, the first 3 years, I never had a rep or anything, just organic. People come to me, can I get a cake? Can I get a cake? So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ahead of this interview, at home, made my own first batch of alcoholic ginger beer. And I think it tastes pretty good. But I want to do a test with you. Can I get you to taste my alcoholic ginger beer and your own and just try and compare the two?
Absolutely.
It's not like I doubt that your alcoholic ginger beer is anyone can make it, but I just want to see if you can...
Absolutely. You bring it on.
Is it all right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's one in front of you.
So I've got my eyes closed, yeah. No shit in here.
Yeah. Well, hang on, it might be. Just taste that. Just tell me what you're thinking.
I can already tell. I can definitely smell the ginger. This is yours.
pretty good, or?
Mate, it's... Did you make this at home?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Absolutely. No way.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, man.
Oh, thanks.
Look, just give it a little bit more carbonation. That's all it needs.
Yeah?
That's just it needs a bit of more carbonation.
Okay,
That
because,
bubbles up. Yeah, actually it enhances the flavors of the ginger.
I mean, I don't want to form a business partnership with you, but, you know, if this is how it starts, then that's fine.
And
It's not the worst.
This reminds me when we first start ours, obviously because we do use the ginger, a real ginger to start with. I mean, it's a process to go to. It's nice and thick gingery, but once you go mash produce it, you can't do that. That's the reason.
Right.
Obviously, we had to go and
Oh, like it would just cost too much. Like it would cost too much in
Absolutely.
ginger, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a giant ginger root, and I'd like grind it down in my bathroom. I mean, not bathroom, sorry, kitchen.
Yeah, bathroom. Mate, this is how eventually starts. We don't do that in house. What
Yeah.
you just said, but this is what
Yeah.
gets done.
Really? So that's kind of how it started.
That's how you have to. This is what people don't understand. It's nothing artificial.
Yeah.
It is a lot of hard work, and people just say, "Oh my God, every festival, yours tastes like ginger." It's like it's a ginger beer. It's supposed to, and it's not a secret. You got to do it. So when you got those big companies that do millions of liters, there's nowhere in the world that can do this. What you just did, or me. It's
Well, thank you.
I wish this is probably what's it called, the not artificial sugar either, because the sweetness comes from the ginger. And
Or I did pour a lot of honey in it.
honey. Here you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Do you feel threatened by my first batch?
Oh man, I should be worried. No, I shouldn't be worried because if you keep doing that, you go broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
look,
Are you washing it? Wash it down with that one.
I'm so proud of this. Of these recipes, actually, myself and my son at the time, quietly, he was 14. After school, his name is Bailey. Come after school and help me make it.
That's really sweet. Yeah.
And to this day, with his eyes closed, he'll taste every tank. The first 5 years, I never had even equipment how to measure the what do you call it? The sweetness or carbonation. Everything was done by taste. Just me and my son would come. Nothing needs a little bit more.
Oh, I'm sure as a 14-year-old son, I'm sure he was
It was
loving
14 to start with. He's 22 now. But man, cheers from that. That's enjoying the idea.
Thank you. Is it okay if we take a complete U-turn, go all the way back to Cyprus? Because I was really interested in, kind of getting like your origin story, or like how where you were born and what was your childhood like. But if I'm correct, you started your first job at age 11 in Cyprus?
Absolutely, yep.
What were you doing?
Cabinet maker.
At 11?
Yeah.
Did you know what you're doing?
Look, I probably was one of the lucky ones as well. At least we did have a job, and I was never good at school. All right? I finished my school, but probably the dumbest, I suppose. I got treated all my life. I didn't have the school. Even when I come to here, I had no certificates. I had nothing to show. You're just a dumb, go in the corner. But it's part of our culture, work ethic. It's very simple rules in life. You're hungry, you cook. You know what I mean? If you're dirty, you clean. You got to do yourself. If you want stuff in life, you go and get it. No one's going to get it for you. So, age 11, I just loved always when I was a little kid to start with my hands. So, I got a job as a cabinet maker, and I ride my bike to school straight after school. I never even took books to school, just straight to work until 9 time. I come to back home, pitch blacks, and eat, no homework, not interested in homework, and just over and over. Summertime, all the kids would go to the beach and holidays, and I would just go work full time,
What was the... did you just love working with your hands, or were you thinking, I want to get some money to buy something, or was it the money, or was it the work? I mean, you're only 11.
Money never has, and it's still not today is my drive. It's what's it called? The success, or not success, it's when you're making something like that.
It's an achievement, right?
It's an achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with my hands, I suppose what I was doing when I was doing cabinet at 11 is, when you get patted in the back and, you're man, for an 11-year-old, oh my God, you're doing all right. And look at this beautiful chair you made and that kind of stuff. That's achievement is more like. The money was never for me. Back home, everything goes to a kiddie.
Yeah.
You help your family. If I didn't have a bike until was then. When I got my first job and I had to buy my first bike. My family wasn't in financial to buy a position, financial position to buy me a bike. So I wanted a bike. Simple, can't work. It's not even, what's it called? Kids, they're not even, obviously things change now. You can't expect your parent or somebody else to buy you anything. Even today, if you want something, you're like, I don't understand how people just waiting for the government or something to. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, your childhood sounds so different to like. Have you seen kids now, and they'll be driving around on those like $4,000, $5,000 electric scooters, and they're 10, and you're like, there's no way they bought that. And Absolutely. So they got their parents or someone would have been. I don't know if you look at that and go, oh.
Look, it's again, you obviously set your kids for disaster, and I don't even my kids. They want to buy something. I had to make him work. My son was working for me when he was 12. We started with our business here, and then we started ginger beer. My daughter, she was working at Machu Picchu, the same, 12, 13, and people, what are you doing with your kids? It's not about, they're not thinking, they're slaves. They're not. They're just teaching them, life skills. If it's hospitality, if it's a mechanic, or if it's whatever, something like that, so to understand when you need money, you need to do something about it. And not to mention people skills as well. Don't sit home on your Xbox back then and play Xbox and then, kids at school don't like me and that sort of stuff. Be out there with other people and that sort of stuff. Face the real world. See what everybody else is doing. And hospitality is one of the greatest things. You meet so many different rich, poor, hungry, or, you know what I mean, artists, famous. So you just you learn a lot from it. So I'm not telling, some people want to raise their kids in one way, but for me, even today, I'm still getting my hands and knees to do work and show my workers, show my kids, show everybody else around it that is, you're still going to be a maxed. You know what I mean? I don't treat people, I'm the boss and you below me. Everyone to me is the same level. So I don't set people to fail. When you get someone work, I do my absolutely best to give them as much as knowledge I possibly can, and it's up to them if they want to learn or not learn. But I'll feel guilty if it doesn't work because I didn't give it to them, and I'm not going to sit around, point my finger, go and do that. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah. Just to go back to you're 11, you just bought your own bike.
Yeah.
and then you make the massive move from Cyprus to Australia.
Yeah.
And you're only 19, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. How difficult was it going from Cyprus, 19, making this huge shift? And
so you have to. We've got army there. It's called posturing. The best thing ever. Everyone hates it. It should be introduced to every country in the planet, especially Australia. 17. Think about 17 years to today. Just finished school. Got put into the army. I had to. Army is not about how to shoot a gun, how to kill people, how to train big or anything. So it's life skills. You respect everyone above you. And I think that's put a lot of things. To move your way up into the army, it's how can I call it? I think the biggest thing that I learned from the army is to respect the people above you, and what they do. You need to listen to others before you can get into that position yourself. And if you don't do that, you're just a loser, really, and become a loser in life. Doesn't mean you don't judge people tall, short, fat, skinny. Nah, that's not it. Like I said to you, everyone is equal. The other thing is you work like a team. It's all about a team. When you're in the army and you go into a hill to whatever, if you're slack, everybody else suffers. If that makes sense.
Oh
So
yeah.
And that's I'd say work. Everything that you learn at work is everything you do at school, and that's what people don't realize. And over there, you're 17. Mum is not there to wash your clothes. Mum is not there to cook you. We had to cook to get your turns to cook for, hundreds of soldiers. And then when your turn is, you got to be just as good as the last one before. And you had to wash. We had to, they put you down and get your toothbrush and wash stuff on,
Oh yeah.
toilets. Yeah,
That's a lot.
It is, but you know what? It's I never regretted it. It's like I said. To this day, it's the best thing.
Having that training and learning those life skills.
Set you for life. Yeah. The reason we moved over, before I was 11, my mum and dad had a baby clothes company.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
6, 7-year-old, I go after school and sew for mum and dad.
Yeah.
So it's 11, that was what I wanted to do with my cabinet making, but you got a family business. Anyway, long story short, we had a successful baby clothes business. We had a fair bit of property. Fuck it. Just gonna get my water bottle.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We lost everything. We sold everything we own. Just finished the army. Even the army, the days over, go and help the family. And then I had to work 3 jobs, save to buy the tickets to come to Australia.
For your whole family?
Yeah, it was 6 of us. Yeah. Didn't speak a word of English. Knew no one. Just over the letters, we send a friend of a family friend, picked us from the airport. Next day, started working. My sister was 12. She's the only one who didn't work. Obviously, went to school. I had 3 jobs in the first week.
What would your working day even look like if if you can't speak English, you're catching the bus, and you got 3 jobs? I mean, did you feel overwhelmed, or like what was your? It sounds like
it wasn't a big deal to me. Just something that you learn to do, and actually, I felt lucky that we did find this job straight away, and I felt grateful for the people that gave me the work, if that makes sense. And
I feel like that's such an opposite mentality to, I have to work 3 jobs, whereas you're thinking, I'm just so grateful that I got 3 jobs. That's such a completely different to probably how I would have seen it. I would have gone, I'm cursed.
Yeah.
But you're seeing it as opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even the people that you work for, then you just feel obliged. Thank you so much. I don't want to work my butt off to prove it.
Yeah.
And thank you. I want to make you money. Because if I make you money, that means you're going to pay me, you're going to keep the job. Always, like the overtimes. So the 3rd job was, work on the weekends. I worked with theatre, cabinet making, pizza joint, doing deliveries. Constantly, whatever we could do. And I was still 19, at the time, or, by then I was 20 after that. But all your life, you just like work to get somewhere. And when you do get somewhere, here is, you're so lucky. I was like, don't you dare.
Because it would feel, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would it feel almost insulting to be like?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like you don't know.
Absolutely insulting. It's everything that you see in here, man, I built it. I got behind it. Anything from plumbing, electrical. I know every single screw they got put into here, with our venues. We got to it later, but so is the hardest thing, I suppose, coming to another country and, people not realise, even to this day, they don't know what racism is until you experience it.
Right.
Did we picked on? Yeah. But you know what? I felt you let me into your country. So I didn't feel insult. I just had to prove myself that you're wrong.
Right.
And then you get the respect, if that makes sense.
It sounds like it goes back to some of your army days as well. It's like, you fight for your place and you have to, earn respect from other people
100%.
through the way that you act. Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
No one can buy you. No one can download respect.
Yeah.
And that's what people think. They come to a job and they want, I want to do this. Like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Go wash your dishes first. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? It's but look, it's a different times, I suppose. But people lived my age, and not everyone's going through it. Some are lucky enough to live in a better cities and everything else. I lived in one of the most beautiful.
This is back in Cyprus, is that right? Yeah.
I lived Cyprus, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Money come by. You don't care how poor, had a good life. So, anyway.
Do you, if it's okay if we jump to and you can fill in more detail if you want. I feel like I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious about, before you jumped on Ocean Street, before Solbar, like when you moved from Sydney and all those jobs, and then you came here. Could you tell me what happened in the lead up to living in a van in Coventry? And because it seems like, I know, man. I mean, your life has gone through such a journey. It's really hard to keep up. But it's like, what happened in the lead up to that?
So obviously, my career as a cabinet maker, I've done that as I was 27, and I found opportunities. I always loved photography. My dad had a small FM5. It was a Nikon camera, full menu. I had to just keep playing with it, and I just become a something of a passion of mine. And when I moved to the Sunshine Coast, I thought I'd go and do a course,
In photography?
In photography.
Yeah.
I lasted 3 months, and I think the 4th month I started my own publishing.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's so fast.
Yeah, but so I love photography so much, and I hate politics. I hate that favorism and that kind of stuff. You know what? I don't need someone to tell me if my photos are good or not. I just go and do it myself. So I started a magazine called Border Magazine, a wakeboarding magazine. I was the photographer, obviously, and I still to this day, I can speak English, but I can never, still today, I'm dyslexic. I can't type, whatever. So for 12 years, I traveled the world taking photos. What a best life. Like, it was amazing. So we had a publishing company. It was a Border magazine. Then I started another magazine called Kiteboarder.
And were you into those sports as well?
I'm not as good. I love my bikes. So you always ride bikes, motocross and road bikes. I'm not, gravity's against me. So I did wakeboard. I love the wakeboarding. Yeah. Wakeboarding, but never been as good as those people. But to me, it's just be out on the boat and, did I get behind the wakeboard? Absolutely. Loved it? Yes. But that wasn't my, and then again, is my mission. When I was within the wakeboarding industry, I started what do you call the pro tour. I started the kids camps and everything else. It was all about teaching kids to stay away from home, from Xboxes and that kind of stuff, get them out in the water. And I spent a lot of time with that sort of stuff, donating, doing events. And, I got nominated or won whatever awards over the years for being with what I do. Not a big deal. Photographer of the year and all that sort of stuff. It's not, to me, that's not the reason I do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like if I won any award of the year, I would be telling everyone. It'd be all over my Facebook.
No, not even in there. It's just in a drawer in a cupboard.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after that, fortunately, I had a follow-up with my first marriage. I've got two kids. Isabella, she lives in Sydney now, and Bailey still works with me. And he had a falling out with obviously ex-wife. I had the business, and I only shut it down, not financial reasons. I shut it down because, I'm not going to get to it. So, I want the company down. Be who I am, my number priority. I paid every single person that I owe money to. And then, when everything finished, like, fuck, excuse my language, I can't afford to. It's all right. I can't afford to rent a house or lease a house. You know what I mean? That's okay. I kept the van. I had a transit van. I had a bed on the back.
It's sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but it sounds like you're so like integrity for you is like the highest like quality or trait that they have, and it's like you will do anything to make sure that that's right. And it's like you will pay all your creditors, all your staff, and even if it means that you're living in a van, you're like, well, that's just that's the cost. I just feel like that's. Yeah.
Man, I lived in the Coventry Caravan Park. It's one of the best, and that's the way I looked at it. Best caravan parks. Best caravan parks in the country. Yes, it wasn't comfortable and everything else. I lived there for 2 years, but I have to sacrifice to meet my needs, if that makes sense. That's what I've got to do. I'm not going to sit in the corner and cry. I'm not going to go and apply for a whatever bad and get the government to give me money. I'm not going to ring my mum and dad, or they didn't have money. I don't do that. There's no need to. Just go and find your way to get head back up. And I did that. And as I was living in a caravan park, I loved live music, kept going, and I just so missed the originality of the music. And you can see we had so much talent on the Sunshine Coast, and I used to go to, let's say, Maluba. That was a place, and every place was just getting shut down one after the other.
Why were they getting shut down?
Music. Look, obviously, it was a lot of issues with licensing and everything, noise. Rich people bought properties upstairs. They wanted to themselves, and they kept complaining. Forced a lot of the smaller guys to close doors. However, the big guys, they still play your Jimmy Barn covers and everything else. But that wasn't me. And then it was on the corner here. Used to be a place called Kiba, and they had an open mic there, and they used to come there. And it was like absolutely loved it.
Is this on Ocean Street?
On Ocean Street, yes. It's called Kiba, and that's when I met my current business partner. We started an association, music, because there was nothing. Again, I don't know why me. I'm not even a musician. We started an association. I built a trailer, had a PA, and we're doing so many events, like fundraising money for charities and that kind of stuff. And I had no idea about sound and everything else. Alex, my current business partner, he was doing a course in TAFE. He knew how to drive the mixing desk. I learned how to drive the mixing desk. And we had an association called Musk. We raised some money, everything else, just to save the live music. Anyway, nothing was happening. Like, just people weren't getting behind it, Huh. And I said, and then anyway, so across the road from the Kiba, it was the old strip club.
Yes.
So
I don't know it well.
But
personally.
when I got to it wasn't a strip club. It was they changed it what called Envy. It was a live. It's a nightclub, all right. But the same people used to on it. So I saw the space with the licensee. So I helped. I was like, you know what? Let me go and put some gigs there, some events. So I did that. So I helped them. Brought my PA in, drive it for 8 months, at least 8 months. And we had some bands like, whoa, I can see this happening. However, the people behind it, they were still like in the strip club mentality. And
Also, were there strippers there and live music?
No.
Or?
So the strip club, the people were on the strip club, they closed the strip club and they changed it to a nightclub.
Gotcha.
All right?
Right, yeah.
So they had this space and they had probably the best legal licensing venue on this whole Sunshine Coast. And I'm like, I can do something with this. It was the dodgiest place. It was dark. You don't understand.
Yeah.
How it had every reason not to go there. All right. But I didn't see that. I see it the other way. So the how we can success from there. So anyway, so I helped for 8 months and we started getting a bit of, with the bands and everything else. And I got zero money. I wasn't there for the money. I was just happy to have the live music going. Anyway, so they told me after all, we're going to shut the doors. I said, what do you mean? Oh, obviously because of the strip club, you owe money, blah, 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 blah. So, well, that's not good. I was still living in the caravan park. And I did a handshake agreement with them.
So, which means?
They get, because like I said to you, I haven't learned what my parents gone through.
Yeah.
Even to this day, handshake is the biggest thing. I don't, obviously we do to me.
But to you, that means a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot to me.
Because it's someone's word, it's someone's hand.
Yeah. People don't see it that way. That's fine. What goes around comes around. Anyway, I'm not going to lie. They were amazing. They thought, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. Yeah. Literally, they handed me the key. So I had 2 weeks. They said on Saturday night is our last day, and you start paying rent on Sunday.
Is you're paying rent on Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had $0. Like literally, I just closed my business down, pay every debtor, lived in the caravan park, trying to earn a living. What I do, a lot of music lovers out there, and I tell you guys, this is what's happening. So on Saturday midnight, I had probably 30 people just jumped in, chibis, but like friends of, you know what I mean? We utilised everything was there. I spent $4,000 on a credit. That's all we spent. I was lucky enough to revamp Solbar, what that they call Solbar. Go and have a look at some photos, what it used to be and what
because Solbar now is like really fun and funky and red and dark and if it used to be a former strip club, like what did it look like then? And
so I went to Bunnings and I got an account and I bought all the stuff. Yeah. Everything else cost me all up cost me $4,000. All right.
But you renovated it yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. This is on Saturday. On Wednesday.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, we opened the doors. Open mic. Those days, if I had an hour's sleep, I don't do drugs. Never did drugs. If people say, how do you stay awake?
Yeah. But you were saying you only had an hour's sleep during those
between
times.
Saturday, I'll go have a shower and sleep.
Yeah.
Until Wednesday night that we opened the doors. That was just me solo. That was me. And had no lease, no nothing. Just a handshake agreement.
Yeah.
No sort of Facebook like it is today back then. It was some, but nothing like it.
So it's more like word of mouth, right?
Word of mouth and blah, blah, blah.
Or people just hear the music down the road. Yeah.
The lead up to that, when the guy said we shut in the doors, I approached probably 5, 6 different investors. This is what I want to do. You're kidding. If I tell you I'm going to say it, shut in the face, like, the fuck you thinking? Ocean Street, the old strip club? And you're joking. I'm not, this is just
Do you reckon they were just against like the fact that the venue had a reputation of being an old strip
Mate,
club, or
Ocean
was
Street,
it? Yeah.
if you're here on Saturday night, you shoot a shotgun, you'd be nothing.
But no one would care, or no one would
No,
be
no,
around.
there was no one here. No one here. It was like a $2 show, I remember.
Yeah.
There's people on the benches sleeping, doing drugs. It was a really bad street.
Oh, so you're going to investors being like, hey, I'm going to start this live music venue. And
Ocean
they're like,
Street back then, it was the worst street is like in the whole Sunshine Coast. And I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
It was bad, but I had a vision.
Yeah. Did you doubt it? Were you even like, oh, maybe this is crazy?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. What the Sunshine Coast needed at the time, I had it in that room. Like, you know, what was outside is irrelevant to it. And I wanted to create to change this, okay? And did I even think Ocean's just going to create it? No way. So I worry about the live music. That's all I care. Trying to get the live music happening. So those investors, all 7 of them, literally laughed at me. People done event, other areas. What is it doing? What is it doing? That's fine. I'm not listening to it. Just always learn to swim on my lane. I don't turn around to see what the other person. If I don't win, at least I feel proud. I did what it takes. I put on my effort. So the minute I start turning on what everybody else is doing and then I lose, it's like, I'll be so pissed off. Why care? What, you know what I mean? I didn't put 100% effort. So when I do things, it's nothing but 150%. So I put everything I had into it. Physically, emotionally, wherever. Did people believe in me? Not many, but few did. So every single tradie helped me, and the musicians, they thought, this is a new hub. I don't care about the strip. I don't care about Bad Ocean Street. Anyway, Wednesday night, the old strip club became to a nightclub that was the first open mic. And I even invited a friend from Melbourne to come just get on the stage, and we had a line. It was massive.
Yeah. How many people?
Man, it was chockers.
Oh.
It was free entry. We had a line from that day. The next 5 years, that line was just this thing, just progressing from there and there and there.
How did you feel going from having investors almost like laugh you out, and then you've gone, I've worked, I've only had 1 hour's sleep for like the past 4 or 5 nights, and I've opened it up, and you see this line down the road, and you think like, I was right, or it worked.
Proud.
Yeah.
So if people tell you I started from scratch, I started from the bottom. What I did, I started 10 kilometers underground.
Yeah.
You're on your lowest point in your life, living in the caravan park, and then you get on top. Oh my God! Do I just go and say it to everyone? Stick it in you? Nah, that wasn't the reason I did it. I believe in something. When I believe in something, it's not failure. Everything I've done in life is not failure. Is not an option. And when I do something, I do it extremely well. Anyway, until this day, open mic on Solbar is one of more successful. We're known about open mic. If you go anywhere, you go in the country, you know about Solbar open mic. So, and then after that, we're just a snowballing effect. People come in, bands heard about it, approaching us. Every single one of the investors come back, knock on my door, and said, "I'm so sorry, man. It's fine. I don't need you now." Yeah. My mission was to pay. Obviously, I paid $4,000 that I kind of went. I got cards for all that sort of stuff. I was so stoked. I opened account again, just to tell people what trust is, what's the word? Loyalty. What's a lot of those things that what helps me in life. A lot of those venues, the business that I went to. Hang on a second.
Sorry.
Sorry, man. Are you? What do you got? All right. Wait. Just I don't know where you go. Just put it there. I'm just going to finish this interview. Do you have much?
You're right.
Yeah. Just put them there and we'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Did you have any big musicians that came to Solbar early in their career and who kind of like blew up later on? Like you might have had like a young Ziggy Albert's come along or...
Ziggy Albert used to work for us.
Oh, did he really?
As a glassy. Ziggy Albert picked up the first guitar on an open mic.
Oh, really? Did you?
So,
and when you heard him, were you like, oh, he's got it. He's got to be big, or?
It was, with him, it wasn't a no-brainer. I mean, it's just like it was young, was good looking, he had a good voice, and you know what I mean. It's yeah. Look, it's a massive list that I can go through. You can look at anything from Tones and I to
Tones and I.
Tones and I played here, absolutely.
Really?
Before they blew up.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Do you know? Do you
Dreads,
have the Dregs? Yeah. Do you with Tones and I? Do you still have her like? Do you have their numbers? Do you see them around, or are they just a blip in time?
Tones and I, they booked a gig here.
Yeah.
All right. Before she blew up, before she went massive, and when she started getting big, before she got to play, the agent said, "You got to cancel that gig. It's too small for you." And she goes, "No, I'm not." These people believed in me back then, before I got big. Nice. You know, she used to, what do you call it? Basking at Byron Bay. She was a very similar situation sort of thing. Yeah. And, you know, when she honored her gig with Solbar, even when she was, you know, she got to be someone. She was on the way up. She got told you could cancel. So she kept her word. And something like that, I'd take my hat off to her. Do you know what I mean? And that's what the whole music industry, not everyone's like that, but a lot of musicians are like that. But anyway, after that, Alex helped me a lot to get where I with Solbar to start with, and within 2 weeks, one of those people just started approaching me, "Hey, do you want to?" And he's like, "Man, I want to be a part of it," because I had no money. You know what I mean? I needed to keep going. So, yeah, within I think 2 weeks after I opened, Alex became my business partner, and he's still my business partner today. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, and yeah.
I was going to say, like, you started Solbar, and it's like wildly successful, and still is now.
Yeah.
I was here last night.
Yeah.
Everyone's here. But then it felt like you went on to just grab Ocean Street by the horns, and you opened the piano bar, and then you've got, I believe it's Old Soul.
Yep.
Is it? I might butcher the pronunciation. Is it Machu Picchu?
Machu Picchu, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you opened all these venues all on one street. Are you
nuts?
Yeah. That's not. I mean, I hadn't written that down, but well, I was just wondering. I was like, were you setting out to be like, I'm gonna create like this night
I wanted
scene?
to do precinct. Absolutely. Look, when I talked about the key bar ended up shutting down. The duration, I said to so many people, guys, we had, it was a pizza place across from us, and we used to buy the pizzas, small pizzas, and hang on, I'm just...
You're right. No, you're right.
We had people come in 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and 3 o'clock at night, we had to tap them on the shoulders like, you got to go. So we had to get these pizzas. I had a little oven and just hit them up just to feed people, right? And I said to the people, and we had a line after that, had nowhere to go. So what started happening, I'll just jump in the taxi to go somewhere. I said, well, you know, underneath, this is crazy. I met my wife probably the week before I opened Solbar. All right? So actually she met me, she had to come to the caravan park, and she thinks like, who the hell is this guy? Why am I getting involved with this guy? He's just a loser, lives in the caravan park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I heard he's taken over the old strip club.
Yeah, hey, not the strip club. Why am I doing this anyway? So I met it then, and what do you call it? The first week she was there for me, her friends, and sort of helped. We weren't even together then, I suppose. Just started, and after that, I was successful. I speak to my business partner. Hey, we need to do something else, and he's like, Alex, like, man, that's enough. Like, come on, Ovi. I'm up to here. And I was trying to explain to him the long terms. Well, we might lose because if we don't have anything on the street, we're going to lose. People are going to go to whatever. So I asked,
Of course. So you're thinking you've got Solbar, but how else can we attract people to come?
yeah, not how can we attract people not to leave as well. I want them to go across the road, have something to eat, and come back.
Right.
So, and then I approached so many people. Hey guys, it's a venue across the road. It's shut down. Come in. I was like, don't be stupid. Like blah blah blah. Okay. So me and my wife got together, and that's where we opened the piano bar. So, piano bar is equal, if not more, proud. You mentioned, so when I first do anything about kitchens, no. I love cooking, that's all. Do I had a restaurant before? No. I never had a live music venue before either. So I got in, looked at the venue, and I just had straight out, I had my vision. What are you going to do? Mediterranean tapas. It's back home, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Didn't know any connections, no chefs, no nothing. So you mentioned Tony Kelly. Tony Kelly, I engaged him coming, what do you call him? To open the restaurant to the train. What's the word?
Were they like a business partner, or were they
No. He works as a
mentor?
No. You know, he comes in and set it up like in English. I still struggle with English, believe it or not.
So do I.
Yeah.
And this is the only language I know.
So he comes in and does, what is here? Consultant, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, so he
So he
helps,
hired
yeah.
the chefs and everything else.
Oh, sure.
I told him what I wanted about the menu and all that sort of stuff, blah, blah. Started renovating. I think it was 2 days before we opened. Look, amazing person, an amazing cook. Obviously, you know, he's very, very well known on the coast. He's gone through a lot of stuff himself. So 2 days we opened, me and my wife sat down, and she's like, menu. Gave him a list what I want. He started serving amazing food. But he saw me like, I had a tear in my eye. He was like, what's wrong? I said, this is not Mediterranean. I said, what do you mean? This is not Greek. This is not Italian. What do you mean? This is too beautiful, too fancy, it's not...
Right.
It's not authentic enough.
Sure, yeah.
Like, the food was amazing.
So it's your number one success story or accomplishment because of how well you were able to recreate your homeland, and the food that you had there. Because I think I don't know, most people probably say like, oh no, you're Mr. Solbar, or but if it's interesting hearing you say that, like, actually the piano bar was probably one of my proudest achievements. Yeah.
And look, Solbar still is. And again, I went in for the passion with the live music, and I think I still hold that. I do have, it's not just me. Melissa, you just met before. She's been with us, maybe not day one, but day 3.
Sure, wow.
We have a lot of staff that've been here for 12, 13 years. Alex, my business partner, we had the same drive, the same passion, everything else, because even him, he didn't have money either. He just helped me. And we got to a point that we believed in ourselves and people believed in us, and we created this, and we stuck to our guns. We can only do original music, you know what I mean, of things. The young kids listen to different things these days, but we still get touring bands coming through Solbar. That's what we sort of known for.
Do you mind if I just go through, just because I know you might have to race off, and so I'm like, you got so many businesses to juggle. But I'm curious to know, as someone who you started Solbar and you basically created Ocean Street, Do you think that, I don't know, Ocean Street has such an iconic reputation now. Do you think that Ocean Street's reputation has sort of changed from when you first sort of created it to now? And do you think it has like do you think it has an unfair reputation, or I just want to get
Absolutely.
your...
Okay, let's go back. So after we did this, I started Diablo. The Diablo's getting more successful. So I left Alex, my business partner. I said, okay, he's running this. And I went away and run Diablo. I started the Ocean Street World Festival. Same thing, the first year, no money, no nothing. We put a stage in front of Solbar. We had 8,000 people and then just went from there. You know what I mean? Sort of influenced the Ocean Street markets, but they got to a point and I moved on. I'm not saying this is the reason things stopped. The Ocean Street World Festival, I don't want to mention, but it got taken away from us, from not authorities, but they were taken away from other places, so they made it harder and harder and harder. I don't want to get into politics. So did we find it hard? Every hurdle, you name it, I had to fight for taxis, I had to fight for safe night prison, we had to fight for security cameras. Literally everything that you see on Ocean Street, anything from lighting to name it, I had to go to the authorities. So this is what we need, you know what I mean? And because I was the first person to come here, and not a word of lie, after Ocean Street started, there will be so many clubs and everything else. You ask everyone, I was the last person to leave the street. I would sit on that taxi rank until the last person, because I feel responsible if something happened to someone. It doesn't matter, even if it wasn't my customer.
Really? Well, because I guess you've helped sort of create the atmosphere on Ocean Street. So maybe there's like a bit of you that's like, oh, I created this like attraction, even if they weren't necessarily going to my venue. It's the idea that you've kind of revamped Ocean Street from
Responsible, yeah.
With Solbar, just looking ahead in the future, has anyone ever asked to buy Solbar, and would you ever sell it?
It's not. No one asked to buy Solbar. Yeah. We had a lot of people looking at it. I think a lot of people think it's just easy to copy it than buy it. It's not something that I would say yes or no. Everything's got its place. It's not just my decision. I've got a business partner. It's something that no one can create. Solbar is something unique. A lot of people try to do Solbar. I don't think anyone can make another Solbar. Now, if someone comes and says, do you want to buy it? I'm not going to say piss off, because it's not just my decision. I don't know, did I give you the right answer or not?
It's fine. I was just curious to know if many people are like, knocking on your door going, hey, I'll give you X amount for Solbar, and if it is...
Since we've been here 12 years, I'm not going to name him, but at least 8 to 12 venues, not just on Ocean Street, that try to replicate what Solbar does.
Really?
Absolutely.
Across the Sunshine Coast? Or
in the Sunshine Coast. Look, it's a lot of venues that literally, they will just tell to my face or to our face, we're here to take Solbar down. Well, that's fine.
Have they said that to you?
Yeah. Mate, the poacher staff and everything else. I'm not scared. That's fine. I'm here to work. I'll work with my enemies. I've got no problem, because it's not the reason talk to me. I can help you. Don't go around my back and trying to poach their staff and say, well, that's it, we get in all your bands. Go for it. Have they? Some of them succeed. All the bands are coming back now. Do you know what I mean? It's very harsh world. I tell you the truth. When you create something from your own sweat and everything else, if someone created a platform, instead of I'll just go next door, see if I can pinch the bread they've got on the bench. They don't want to cook the bread, I'll just steal it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, man, go make your own bread. Or ask me, next time when I make a bread, I can make some more for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And also the other thing that I sort of realised on the Sunshine Coast, as soon as you're successful, people, you know what, I'm going to do what he does.
Does that frustrate you, or is it somewhat flattering as well? Like, because
frustrates me. Flattering it's when people, you should be proud they're trying to. It's not. It's not I just can't understand. I don't think that way. Why would I do that? Why would I do? I just can't see how can
Oh,
someone
I
thinks.
mean, like when someone says to you, like, we want to copy and paste Solbar, do you see that as like, oh, it validates that this is a good business, and I feel
That's what people tell me. I look at it the good way, yes,
Yeah.
but at the same time, is it trying to
trying to rip me off?
rip me off? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I
stuff
said,
them.
in a way, what be proud of. I create something that someone can steal from me.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So, yes and no, but I'm sort of more frustrated and and
Just very last question. What do you have any like new businesses or venues in the pipeline in the next 5 years, or how do you want to grow?
I definitely wouldn't say venues, but definitely the Diablo Co is going to big places. I'll just say watch Diablo Co because we know ginger beer is one of our products now. That we've got a lot of things that is happening that is very successful.
Are you exporting just within Australia, or would you go
Right
beyond?
now, and again, what people say, why are you not worldwide? We're just in Queensland. That's what we believe in. Everything else, that's how the resources. I can create enough for the whole country. But that's not I wouldn't say my drive. I've got so many things on the road, and I don't want to do more. Chew more than bite what I can chew, I suppose.
Yep.
The right time, we're ready to go nationally, and that's what I want to do next. But there's a lot of work needs to be done on the back end, and like everybody else, every brewery that borrow money or that do co-funding, I've never done that ever. So I just build my business, bring money in and put it back in the business, slowly growing. If someone comes and throws money at me to go in nationally, absolutely. But I'm not going to go and put myself in debt or go and put my hand up and say, I think, what is it called, crowdfunding? So many breweries are doing it.
But you would never do it? You would,
No way.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to get given from someone.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, your hard work, going to give me money for me to... I just don't understand how it's even people think that it's okay to do that. Let's talk about grants. The grants can give it, not to the people that deserve it, the people that know how to whinge and carry on.
Sure.
They know how to do paperwork and everything else. They take their grant, they get a use, no. But anyway, there's so many grants out there to be applied for. I don't believe in it, but if I knew I could get it, I'm not going to say no to it. But at the same time, that's not my focus. I just want to work hard. I want to bring whatever I can, bring to my own business, and make sure my people behind me, underneath me, all getting paid. And that's how I grow my business. I don't want to burn a bridge. So, yeah.
This whole chat has been so nice, and so thank you for telling me your story and being vulnerable as well. I know that some of those parts of your story are really hard to share, and so I really appreciate that. And your time and tasting my ginger beer. Anyway,
exactly
thank you,
right.
Dimi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
No worries,
I'll talk to you again when Diablo's probably international.
Yeah, hopefully one day.